Hello, PlayStation planners, players, and pure geniuses. Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to Lorelei Passage. I've been kind of tinkering around with some ideas on this one, and boy, let me tell ya, the lore's getting kind of deep on what I want to do with this map. The plot is thickening. Right now we're adding a neighborhood. Some of the businesses in town are having a hard time staying in business. So we're adding some population here, and then we're going to build a nature reserve and a border crossing. This is pretty much all no nonsense. I really didn't cut anything out. Just sped it up. Just every part of the build. So, I'm still stuck on the idea of this being two different countries, so having two different cities, two different styles on either side of the passage. I want to do kind of more of a European themed style city on the other side of the passage, and I'm almost thinking some kind of like national tension between the two, not warmongering or anything, but like in a competitive nature, of resources and economy and stuff. And so we're gonna see two different economies bloom, two different styles of industry. Even if it's the same industry, the way they'll be put together is differently. I'm just really excited to do this. I've got an idea to put together sort of like a National Guard base using all vanilla assets and a lot of imagination. And that is going to be what comes next in this build. And then after I build that National Guard base, I might do a little bit of expanding on the farming industry that this city has. But then I'm going to move over to the other side of the passage and start working on the next city. So the area that this is based in, we call Lorelei Passage. And this town here is the town of Pyrite. Also, everybody knows the rock is fool's gold, but Pyrite is what that kind of rock is called. And so a lot of the idea with that being the name was that this one country wants to make the other country think there's big business here, when actually they just want control over the channel. And so, like fake gold, they named the town Pyrite. So we're going to have to think of a name for whatever settlement starts on the other side of the passage. And another thing that I'm going to do eventually is have almost like a channel, a canal, a regulated passage system through there. So that'll be pretty cool to see what we can come up with. To, maybe one country controls the channel, or maybe they split it right down the middle. I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead yet. So this is the start of the nature reserve. At first, I just had, regular dirt paths in mind. But one thing that makes a lot of my builds take a long time is the little details. I love the little details, what you would see as an individual, and not just what you see, 6,000 feet up in the air. And so I wound up kind of adding more of a touristy attraction to two of the three gates. I kind of add like a city park slash amusement park vibe to two of the entrances. Because even though this is a nature reserve, a lot of places like this will still have a tourist attraction to bring people to it. I mean, they have to make money. So, yeah, I think one part that I did miss out on was some of the tree details that I put in after the rocks. But I still showed off pretty good. But yeah, just some gazebos, some fireplaces, fire pits, some piers, just to, I don't know, make it a really cool sort of central destination in town, overlooking what would you call that, a bay? Overlooking the bay, leading into the passage. I guess you could call that like Lorelei Bay. But so I kind of just built out the framework of this nature reserve before I really added in any of the buildings and stuff for that neighborhood. And I did a little bit of terraforming, but not a whole lot. I really just added to it. I added rocks and stuff like that. Some big caves. But that's sort of the bare bones of it. I think I added another, some watchtowers and another couple of camps. But yeah, this was a fun project. I haven't done a whole lot of these. The big parks and stuff, aside from building like city parks, I'm still getting used to it. So here we go. This was another camp. Took me a minute to settle on a good spot for it, but I still don't know how much I liked the spot that I settled for it, but it worked. And it worked out. A little bit steeper, but it's supposed to be a nature reserve, It's not supposed to have nice, flat, people-friendly ground. That's why we put the pass. This is where I start to build sort of more of the attraction part of a nature reserve. I add some park plazas, city park plazas. I had some games from the amusement park, and at this specific spot here I also add two little rides, the carousel and the little kid train. Kind of just coming up with all this off the top of my head. There we go. Some park info, restaurant, restrooms, some other attractions here. Big chessboard. That's pretty cool. Playground. I did change this up a lot before I finally got with the design. I was all over. definitely be like the hangout spot in town so far. Here we go. Adding those amusement park games. Destroying the ground more. There we go. Yeah, some cafes, some games. This is where I add in some of the little rides, and then tie it into the park itself. There we go. Flatten that up. Yeah. So there we go. The teacups, the kiddie train, and the carousel. And then for this side, I don't do anything for this side. I kind of left that one as it is. And there was this side. Now I still made this an attraction point, but it didn't have as much room here as I did up top, so this one wasn't as fancy and crazy. Yeah, did some park entry, restrooms, cafes, all that good stuff. Just the one plaza here instead of the two. And here we go, we add in some more of those carnival games there. Alright, just moving right along here. This just adds, personality to the whole thing. Really. I think it's just kind of bland having just the nature reserve. And then I also think it's almost closed-minded to just keep, the park assets with the park assets, the amusement park with the amusement park, the zoo with the zoo. When you can mix and match them as just these great universal assets for all your parks and nature reserves and such. We've got assets, I think, from every single one except for the zoo in this park here. And that just makes it just that much better. I love all the rocks and stuff, I really wanted to kind of give this a real sort of beaten beach area sort of appeal to it before everything was terraformed for the city. This is just the best part, all the details. So, I'm going to be making a big change here pretty soon. I'm going to be getting a PlayStation 5 and starting my videos based on that. And I'm really excited for 25 tiles and all the other great stuff that has just come out for that. I'm not sure if any of these cities will transfer over to that, but if we have to start all over on some new cities, that's okay too. We can just start from the beginning like we've done with this and with Poncho, and it's just going to be great. I'm so excited. I literally was at the store to get one the other night, and they just didn't have any at the store, so it's happening. I'm just waiting on them to get restocked. So now we're going to start on this border crossing. I had to expand the land so much in a way that I wasn't expecting at first. But it's a pretty similar design to others that I've seen people make and others that I've seen across Google Maps and stuff along the United States southern border and such. So we're going to do the 2 toll booths on the interstate, but then we're going to redirect all the freight traffic coming in through its own lane to do their border customs stuff. And then eventually we'll have the railroad and stuff running through here too, but that's still a little ways away. Not till we get started on the other side am I going to worry about connecting the railroad up over there. Alright. So, this was kind of a big critical thinking part for me. I think I was going over some pictures and stuff, looking at how I was going to put all this together. You know, I've never built a border like this in City Skylines, so it was a pretty new experience for me. But I got it all figured out. And it wasn't until I was way too far along in this process to turn back that I noticed that I was building this huge road network layout and terraforming with $500,000. So that was something that was on my mind when I was building this, and I just barely had enough money in the bank to finish putting this border together. You know, and I've already looked at some other ideas about borders and stuff like that, and I might change a few things around with this in the future, but for right now, this works. It gets the job done. So this is the freight terminal over here, the freight customs area over here on the left. We're just going to put some storage facilities in here. I think I put a oil field headquarters building in here also. That's a road maintenance building that I put there already on the left. Yeah. It's kind of a off-the-wall idea, I guess. And I just set these up to receive general goods and then the sort of stuff that's being produced by my farming industry right now. So later that might change. There's another road maintenance building over there. Make this all one way, so that way there's only one direction to go to get out of there. I'm just gonna have this road go back up and over Just that way anybody who pulls in there can loop back around. They don't have to be stuck going in one direction. This took a minute because I had it paused because I didn't have the interstate connected, but because all the water hadn't had a chance to move from the land yet, I wasn't able to get this road to go right for a while. You just have to sit there and just finagle with them, you know. Vanilla City Skylines. Gotta love some of its properties. I do figure it out here in a minute that that's what needs to happen. There we go. Now the interstate still isn't connected. So I was like, oh crud. I should probably get that going if I have the game running. All that water. And now it works just fine. Kind of use this bridge and the ground that we're raising up with it also as kind of a natural barrier. You know, being that it's a border crossing and all. There we go. Yep, and then I just, I wound up having to change that road there into a 6-lane one-way road going into the toll, and then a 4-lane one-way road coming out, so that way I could put the heavy traffic ban in place and make all the freight use the freight terminal, which actually worked, as you can see there, almost too well. So, and then I wound up using the bigger toll booths, the 8 lanes, so that helped a lot too, because I had a lot of traffic coming in that was getting backed up. Gotta love that Vanilla City Skylines physics. There we go. But I stayed with the interstate road leaving. There we go. Gotta love the Vanilla City Skylines stuff, man. Have to redo all the roads. That's great. It's okay. It turned out pretty good. But yeah, I figure we can use the disaster response buildings in that National Guard base as well. Be a good place for the disaster response to be, because it's the National Guard. That's what they do a lot of times. It's local response. But yeah, just a couple of crazy ideas that I have for that. I think it's going to turn out really, really cool. I'm going to have a video out for that very soon, I'm hoping. Freight traffic just pouring in to fill up those storage facilities. That's so cool, though, the way that turned out. So, this other district that I'm having a hard time adding next to this is, I wanted to put the automated toll in for the freight because there was just so much of it coming in there. But I had to use a different district than the one over there because it had the heavy traffic ban on it, so yeah. Well worked out. Just some clever thinking and got her working. I'm really excited with this map though. Even with just 9 tiles, because there's not a lot of landmass here. You can fill a lot of it up just using the 9 tiles. So even if we're still building on this one for a couple weeks or so, it's still going to be, it's going to turn out really cool, I think. So far, it's been a really fun build. We can see traffic starting to function a lot better. Going in through that border. That's cool. This is my first time I've ever built something like that, so I was pretty excited that it turned out really good. Now I'm just gonna do some detailing work, make it look a little bit more lively, and that'll be about it. I definitely like all the rocks on this map. This place just gives the vibe of a rocky place. I've named everything after different kinds of rocks and minerals so far. So, that's going to be, I really like that I can use a lot of those assets. So I think just above this border crossing there on the shoreline is where I'm going to put that National Guard base. And it'll have, we'll use the fishing industry to kind of show like Coast Guard boats, a couple of the other industry buildings, the cargo airport. I don't know, I'm really excited to kind of mess around with it. I might start on it a little bit later on, but that's definitely going to be the next video. I've been really excited for that. I originally had the idea for Poncho, but I think it would be a lot better suited here. And then Poncho can just stick with just kind of a larger international airport instead of sort of like this, where we can go smaller and have just a little National Guard outpost here. It's going to be really cool. Maybe we can even put a prison in it too. I don't think National Guard bases have prisons, but this is a different country, so. Here we go. all the trees. If anything ever slows down my games when I build in these, it's the airports and the trees. They slow down the game a lot because I use a lot of trees. Even in Poncho, in the middle of the desert, I've added so many trees to that place. But that seems to be sort of a common theme in cities. No matter where they are, they sure do like to put their trees there, which isn't a bad thing. I think as people, it's our responsibility to do things like that, make sure that we're planting trees. So a city full of trees is not a bad thing at all whatsoever. There we go. Got some tree clusters. And we're just going to add some little bushes. Doesn't need to be a forest, you know. Just sort of, just some clusters of trees. Look at that. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for this video, you guys. I hope you've really enjoyed watching the content. I hope you stay tuned for the next videos that we have coming up. And take care, everybody.